They do not want you to think too much.
Chief, can you say anything about a search for a second person? There were a lot of reports there was someone else involved.
We have not been able to confirm that. We have no evidence to support that right now, but we are obviously very concerned about that, even the possibility of that, and we are working that angle right now. But as of right now, we have no evidence of a second gun. We have a suspect in custody, yes.
Do you believe there's other people that you need to find?
I just answered that question. As of right now, we do not have any evidence of a second gunman, but obviously we're concerned about that, and we are doing everything we can to find out if there is if that might possibly be true. But as of right now, we have no evidence.
Yeah, I don't know if this information has already been put out, but I'm talking to people who've been getting statements. It sounds like we have possibly two shooters, one that was in Theater 8 seated, another one that came in from the outside into Theater 9. Sounded like it was a coordinated attack. The Code 4, I just wanted to make sure if we have the information out that there's possibly two shooters.
Negative, that is new news. Break every unit on Blue Southeast. Possible second shooter still at large.
321, one of the shooters might be wearing a white and blue plaid shirt.
There is a teenage neighbor who has known him his entire life, and he thinks that James Holmes was set up.
I'm pissed. That's it. I'm at. You know, I don't feel like he did it. You know, I felt like it was a scam or something, but, you know, it's just overwhelming.
Honestly, as soon as I was watching the trial on CNN today, I felt completely numb. I felt no emotion whatsoever when I was looking at the face of the gunman.
Did he look dangerous to you? Did he remind you of what you saw in the theater?
Honestly, looking at his face right now, no, he looked like an average person that you would see probably at a mall or at anywhere common. You would not put two and two together if you saw that person and if you were there that night. You would never know.
Could you identify him as that guy, the one who killed all of the 12 people and injured or wounded so many others, dozens of others?
I couldn't have identified him because the person the gunman was dressed all in black.
Corbin Dates, was there one or two people involved in this? I've heard that you believe there might have been two, not just one.
I couldn't speculate, but the way from what I saw prior, before the gunman walking in, acted out, it seemed like there was two.
I think you told one of our producers that the person you saw going out of the theater, whoever came back in, the one who went out, had a goatee.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That's correct, yeah.
And you testified all this in court?
Yes.
Previews are about 15 minutes. I work at the movie theater, by the way. I work there 1 day a week. So I know all the in and outs of it. And we're probably 15 minutes into the movies. We see the smoke grenade thrown. So here's the theater. Here's the fucking screen. Okay? And I'm at the very back. I'm at the very top row next to the wall. And the guy's standing right here in the corner next to the exit sign. And next to the exit sign, there's two doors that lead outside directly. Okay. So what I heard from him, he was sitting in the third row. They came through the exit doors from the outside. So somebody with tickets probably let them in. So he's here in the dark, and I could see him like maybe with the exit sign lights. So they throw this fucking smoke bomb. It throws across the fucking audience into the fucking stairs.
I did hear on the news they have one guy in custody.
They do have a guy in custody according to the news. And I think it was at least 3 people because I saw a silhouette of a guy, and all I could see was the light from the exit lights. I saw a silhouette of a guy, and he was in all black, and there's 2 people on each side of him. But I think there was only 1 gun going off at the time. And I think it was at least 3 people because I saw a silhouette of a guy, and there's 2 people on each side of him.
It's just now almost 5:30. Dawn is breaking. How do you make sense of what's happened over the past 4.5 hours here?
We don't know. We have ideas. From what we saw, he wasn't alone. He had someone with him because the second can of tear gas didn't come from his side. We can only assume that someone got him in.
And he is in your custody right now?
We do have one in custody, yes.
And we immediately arrested the suspect in the back of the theater. Again, we were on scene within a minute or a minute and a half, and we immediately arrested the suspect in the back of the theater.
Every unit on Blue Southeast. Possible second shooter still at large.
from our first call to his apprehension was about a minute to a minute and a half. We often have off-duty police officers working at this theater. They were not working there that night, but as I said, the response was very rapid.
But the gunman, once he shot in the theater, there was no telling where he went after that. I don't know if he was grabbed, kidnapped. I mean, somebody grabbed him or not.
All I saw was a man bust open the entrance of the right corner, and he throws a tear grenade, and you know, we're thinking at that point it's part of the show. Well, it was about that time that he started going up the stairs and reloading. That's when I figured it was a big weapon, and we just kind of crawled down the stairs and we ran. We just ran out the theater.
About 5 minutes after the movie had started, we see something fly across the room and explode, and shortly after that we see like smoke coming from it. And when you look, shortly after that we see like loud flashes coming from the right side.
At the bottom of the theater, right next to the screen.
Sure. I see it, but I actually don't feel it. And honestly, it's probably the same thing happening right now to the viewers right now. They see it, but they don't feel it. But honestly, me and everyone else in there are feeling it. The image in our heads is stuck in there, and I still have to take it right here. Take it right here.
Again, go back. Like, you can't leave him in there, and it's like, well, if you go back, you're dead too. And what if our kids live and then they're orphans with no parents?
I didn't realize there was something wrong right away. I thought it was like a firecracker or a firework or something. I thought someone was just like, oh, it's the Batman premiere, I'm going to bring some firecrackers in, throw it, get people riled up, you know. But it wasn't until the alarm sounded saying there's an emergency in the building, something's going on. That's when I figured out that it was something serious.
Got here at 10 o'clock exactly to see Batman because I wanted to see it since they started showing the previews for it. It's crazy that they got an alarm saying that there was a murder in the theater, you know?
He broke in through the door and he threw the thing, and like all you could see is pretty much like the mask, just the gas mask. He just threw up the gun and started doing it.
Terrified, and I just jumped into the aisle and just started crying.
Like past the thing, and then he was just looking at the hallway, like looking back and forth, and I was telling her, I was like, better get ready to like get shot or something.
You weren't sure where he was, and if you moved, you didn't know if he was going to be right above you, like going to shoot you in the back.
We were sitting there wondering what was going on.
As far as the gunner, yeah, no, I mean, he had a gas mask on. It was not, if he was covered from head to toe. There was no way that you could tell what race he was, and it was packed, and you know, I expected to be. It was the midnight showing of the latest Batman movie, and it looked pretty good as far as that goes.
James Holmes sat silently, still sporting his dyed red hair with a public defender by his side. Holmes barely raised his eyes and looked almost sleepy during his first court appearance Monday.
And I definitely saw a tendency this morning of people to read a lot into body language or whatever of the suspect, who was obviously lethargic. His behavior was strange. It could be all sorts of things. I mean, it could be something as simple, like some people asked, you know, whether he had any medications.
Remember that first court hearing, he had that unusual colored hair. He looked very out of it.
I'm Megan Murphy for Newsy. Colorado theater shooting suspect James Holmes is reportedly claiming he does not know why he's in jail. That's according to a new report from the New York Daily News, which says Holmes keeps asking jailhouse workers, quote, "Why am I here?"
Focusing on unsealing documents, right?
You're absolutely right about that. It's access to these court case filings, John, whether or not the public has a right to look at these criminal proceedings. It's something that we normally do see in about 99% of criminal proceedings, 99% of criminal proceedings. But in this case, a judge has taken the move to seal these documents. He's also taken the unusual move of sealing all the documents related to James Holmes when it comes to the University of Colorado. So there's been an entire shroud of secrecy when it comes to all of these documents.